Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to crack a really interesting and important piece of Hindi grammar. How to talk about what he or she did in the past. Now, there's a special little twist here that, once you get the hang of it, will make your Hindi sound so much more authentic.
So let's kick things off with a little puzzle. Take a look at these two sentences. He ate a samosa, and he ate an idli. In English, they're almost identical, right? But in Hindi, the verb for ate is actually different in each one. Why is that? Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly why, and you'll be able to do it yourself.
Okay, before we dive into the main event, we've got to lay a little groundwork. We need to talk about something called transitive verbs. Now, this might be a quick recap for some of you, but trust me, it's absolutely crucial for understanding everything else today.
So, what is a transitive verb? It's actually way simpler than it sounds. It's just a verb that needs an object to make sense. The easiest way to check is to just ask what after the verb. For instance, if I say I wrote, you're immediately thinking you wrote what? That answer? A poem is your object. This past tense rule we're learning today, it only works with these kinds of verbs, like to eat, to read, or to write.
All right, now let's quickly jog our memory on a pattern you've probably already come across with these verbs. In the past tense, I'm talking about the ne suffix.
You've seen this before, right? In other lessons, I, which is main, becomes maine, and you, or tum, becomes tumne. See that pattern? We're just adding ne. But what in the world happens when we want to say he or she? And this, my friends, brings us to the real heart of today's lesson. This is where the twist comes in. The pronouns for he and she, ya for someone near and va for someone far, they do a little transformation. You don't just add ne to the end.
Let's break it down step by step. First, for someone who is nearby, we start with the pronoun ya. Now, before we can add ne, ya changes its form to is. Then we add the ne suffix. So, ya becomes isne. It's a two-step move.
And the same logic applies perfectly for someone who's far away. We start with the pronoun va. First, it changes its form to us, and then we add our familiar ne suffix. So va becomes usne. Isne for near, usne for far. Got it? Awesome.
Okay, now for the most important part of this entire concept. Seriously, this is the magic trick. When we use this ne construction, something really cool happens. The verb suddenly stops caring about the person who's doing the action.
Here it is, the golden rule. When ne is used, the verb stops agreeing with the subject. It doesn't matter if the subject is he or she anymore. Instead, the verb must agree with the gender and number of the object, the thing being eaten or read or whatever. The object is now the king of the sentence.
And this solves our puzzle from the beginning. Check it out. When the object is samosa, which is a masculine noun, the verb is kaya. But when the object is idli, a feminine noun, the verb changes to kai. The subject, isne, is the same in both sentences. It could be a boy or a girl doing the eating. It makes no difference. The verb only cares about the food. How cool is that?
Now that you understand the rule, the absolute best way to make it stick is to actually say it. So let's practice a few sentences together. I'll say it, and then you repeat right after me.
Ready? He or she, someone nearby, ate a samosa. That is, isne samosa kaya. Your turn.
Excellent. Now what if that same person ate an idli? Isne idli khai. Hear that difference in the verb ending? Go ahead.
Okay, let's switch to usne for someone far away, and we'll use a new verb. He or she read a paper. Usne paper padha. Since paper is masculine, the verb is padha. You try it.
And you know, this rule also applies to proper names. So for example, Ram read a book. The word for book, kitab, is feminine. So we say, Ram ne kitab padhi. Repeat after me.
All right, you've been listening, you've been repeating. Now it's time to put your new skills to the test. I'm going to ask you a question, and you try to form the sentence in your head.
First question. How would you say, she, far, ate a samosa? Think about the pronoun for she, far, and remember the gender of samosa. I'll give you a moment. Did you get it? The answer is usne samosa kaya. We use usne because it's she, far, and kaya because the object, samosa, is masculine. It doesn't matter that the subject is she. Let's try one more.
How would you say, Shilpa read a book? Remember, the word for book, kitab, is feminine. The correct sentence is Shilpa ne kitab padhi. Shilpa gets the ne suffix and the verb becomes padhi to agree with the feminine object, kitab. Fantastic job!
We've covered a lot of ground pretty quickly, so let's just do a super fast summary of the key takeaways from today.
So, 4 key points. 1. The ne suffix gets used in the past tense with these action verbs. 2. For someone nearby, ya becomes isne. 3. For someone far away, va becomes usne. And 4. The golden rule. The verb always agrees with the object. If you can remember those, you've mastered a huge part of Hindi grammar.
And that's our explainer for today. I really hope this helped the isne and usne construction finally click for you. For more Hindi lessons, please make sure you subscribe. You can also follow me over on Instagram. The link is in the description. And if you want to learn Hindi one-on-one with me, just send me a message there or an email. Thanks for watching.